everybody. Well, Brendan, welcome to the first episode of this new series I'm doing. I'm excited. Super excited to get started. But to kind of run through with you what my ideas were, I was kind of just thinking, I want to not necessarily do a podcast, but I kind of want to have people on that they can share some experiences. They can share some things that they know or some things about their life that has helped them to become a better person, to become more successful in life and business and fitness and whatever it may be. And so I thought, who better to start than with my best friend, who has been along a lot of the car journeys with me, a lot of the business journeys, and a lot of the stuff that we've done that you guys have seen. So I thought, who better to invite on first? So Brendan, I just you want to just kind of introduce yourself, who you are, what you do?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So I'm Brendan. I run BspeedyGT, which is a YouTube channel, and I also have a couple other different little things that I do. But I've always just loved cars for a long time. Zach and I have known each other for like 3-4 years, and just went at it every day. And we just have a ton of fun. But I'm from Boise, Idaho originally. I just live in Rexburg, Idaho right now, so it's not a bad place to be, that's for sure. So
you grew up in Boise, you moved to Rexburg about, what was it, 2021?
Yeah.
2021, so 4 years ago now. It'll be 4 years on July 4th or something?
Yeah, 4th of July.
We met at a 4th of July car show in 2021, and that kind of sparked everything that you guys have seen. We're always doing shenanigans together, and so it's been a blast. But yeah, go check out his YouTube channel for sure. I'll link that below for you guys. He's got some cool stuff. Got a lot of me on there as well, so it's a plus. But one main thing that we share in common that we love is cars, and so I want to kind of ask, what started your passion or your love for cars?
As long as I can remember, honestly, I've loved cars. I mean, I've loved being around them and seeing them. And you could ask my parents, before I could actually really talk, I was pointing out car symbols and logos and telling them, that's a Ford, that's a Subaru, as one does usually. And no, I've just grown to love them, and it's always stuck with me. And that was one thing going through school that was always funny. A lot of kids always ask me, will you ever get out of cars? And I'm like, well, why would I do that? And and now here question. I am. I'm almost 20 years old and still into cars, and it never changed. I just got older and got a license, so.
So the stuff gets crazier.
It does. It so does. Oh my gosh.
It's epic.
Yeah. No, but long as I can remember, just loved being around them and having fun, listening to the sound of the engines and the uniqueness of each and every car and every person that owns one. It's amazing what stories they all tell.
Oh, for sure. The thing that kind of sparked my interest in cars, I was visiting a cousin in 2017, so I was 13. My math isn't mathing. It's anyways.
It happens.
I was visiting my cousin, and he was really big into cars. He loved the Stradman on YouTube, and so he showed me a couple of videos, and I thought it was kind of cool, and that kind of sparked my interest in cars. So thanks to my cousin Tyler and the Stradman, now I love cars, and it's been from 2017 till now almost 10 years, and the amount of crazy shenanigans we've done with cars in the last couple of years is just beyond my imagination. I never thought it'd be possible, but I guess where there's a will, there's a way. So we made it happen. But Brendan, I want to ask, what's like maybe one of the craziest stories you have with cars? Could be with you, could be with someone else.
There's quite a few. You and I've had a few. We've had a few.
Is there any police watching this video? Tune out now.
Oh shoot. There's a couple really good ones,
Yeah.
I think the first one, when it comes to absolute craziest, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, honestly, was when you got to drive the 570S, and I got to drive the C7Z06, and because I remember going to that photo shoot we had, and owner had both. He owns both the cars, and we just were like, just have fun hanging out. I was like, this is cool, man. We had the Shelby out there. We're just like, man, this is cool being around these cars and stuff. And I used to remember when he looked at you and said, you want to drive it? And he pointed to the McLaren, and you're just like,
I was in shock. That was the first supercar I ever drove.
Oh my gosh, like, this is crazy.
Yep.
And you looked like a freaking 5-year-old on Christmas, dude. You were like ecstatic. You were so hyped up, and I was like, dang, that's freaking sick. And so the owner of the McLaren and the Corvette, he got into the Shelby.
Yep.
He's going to drive the Shelby for you. And I hop in the Shelby with him, and we roll up next to the Corvette, and his wife was driving the Corvette. And I remember he looked at me, and he's like, you want to drive the Vet? And I was like, the heck? I'm just along for the ride,
Is that even a question?
And then he rolls down the window, yells at his wife. He's like, hey, I'm going to let him drive. Okay. It's like, this is like my dream spec Corvette, like the full 9 yards. I was so excited. And we start driving. You and I were both so scared to death driving those cars the whole time. That was so much fun. And when we had to go down the one road and it was blocked off, you remember that? And you had to flip around, and you
U-turn.
You ripped it. As soon as we had to turn left back on the highway, you ripped it so hard. Yep. And then he takes off, and I'm like, crap, because another car's coming. And I was like, well, shoot, I need to catch up because I don't know where I'm going.
Nope.
And so I get on, and I look at his wife, because she was riding in the car with me, and I said, hey, can I floor it? And she's like, surprised you haven't yet. And so I'm just like, you know what, whatever. I slid straight to the floor, and we took off. And that traffic went from being in front of me to behind me really quickly.
Far behind.
Like we moved. But no, I think that was probably we've got a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun, especially in high school. And we did a lot of cool stuff, but I think that's the story that really comes to mind, because that was the one that was probably the most impactful for both of us, because, we realized that these cars aren't as far away as we thought they were. These cars that we go to shows and see and go to dealerships, and they say $250,000+, and, getting such an amazing opportunity to be able to go drive cars like this is
incredible.
It's so fun. And you getting to drive a McLaren at you were 17 at that point? And
I think so. I think I had either right about to turn 18 or had just barely turned 18, but still, that was amazing. I'm still kind of speechless about that whole time. It was so cool.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. I had some pictures and some videos rolling as he was telling that story, so hope you guys kind of got a picture of what we were feeling and the excitement we had as we experienced that. I'll post it from his video and then from my video as well. You had a video on that, right?
No, I didn't. I was so nervous the entire time. I was like, I gotta focus on the road. I can't give anyone my phone to film. It was like I regret it so much.
Hey,
that I'm like,
you enjoyed the moment. That's what matters.
Exactly. What about you though? What's been your favorite story?
Favorite story. Oh my gosh. I'd say that was definitely one of the favorites. I just love. There was a time where we were driving from a car show, and it wasn't even that cool, but Brendan was in his Mini Cooper. I was in the Shelby. We're driving down the back roads, and this SRT was the SRT 392 Jeep or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It was like a Pro Charge Jeep. He pulls up. He starts racing. We weren't racing. We were driving civilized on the road, but he pulled from me. And then Brendan pulls up and we start lining up. And then his turbos blow on the Mini Cooper. That was a good time. That was fun.
No, it wasn't. I spent a lot of money after that.
My gosh.
Oh, I didn't see that car for, almost 6 months after that.
Yeah.
That car was in the shop that whole time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
At the time, we both had girlfriends too. We were trying to impress in the cars.
Sure, that didn't work.
Nope. But I think another cool time that I really enjoyed was when Brendan and I were still in high school. The same owner of that McLaren and the Corvette, he was able to come out to the high school with another Corvette, another really awesome guy from our car group. So we had the McLaren 570, we had the C7 Z06, and then we had a twin turbo C8, and then my dad's Shelby. And we pulled up to the school, and you can imagine Idaho, small town Rexburg, the amount of reactions you get when you pull up in those cars to the high school. And we picked Brendan up, and we were able to just go and rip around for like a good half hour to hour, and he was able to ride in all the cars.
I only rode in the McLaren.
You rode in the McLaren and the Corvette, the C7.
Yep, that was before we drove them.
That's true.
That was before we drove them.
That is true. So that was a really cool experience. That was a really cool, fun time for me. I think one of my favorite experiences. And then as I'm talking about it, I think of a time where we had just left a car show and we went and we rode in that twin turbo C8.
Do not get me started on that car, man.
That was
that car is violent.
And then I think to the most recent, some of the most recent car shenanigans we've had, where we ripped around that Porsche Turbo S, Porsche Turbo, I guess. And then the next weekend we took it to the track. We drove around the track and raced it. Like, there's so many cool experiences that we've had with cars and even without cars. But I think there's just, every time I talk, I just think of more and more and more. Every time I try to think of one. But that's for a different time. We'll talk a lot more about, we'll have to go more in depth on car stories on a different episode.
For sure, for sure.
But man, there's so many.
Too many.
There's so many fun times.
We've had fun. Oh.
I want to ask, what, in your opinion, what's the best car on the market and why? Any car. Money's not an object.
Money, not an object.
What's the best car and why?
Oh, I don't know.
In your opinion, it doesn't have to be stats. It doesn't have to be anything. Just your opinion.
I know, but I'm a very statistical person, and I want to see, like, you know, the Lamborghini Revuelto is hard to beat right now. That's for sure.
I love that car.
Being hybrid, still holding a V12, I think it's a solid car for what it is. I know the market's definitely kind of been a little bit struggling with them recently, just with the way they've been. But I think that car's pretty solid. But I don't know, all time, if I had to have like one sports car, like all time forever, I would probably buy either like a brand new Aston Martin Vanquish, or I'd buy like a little, like the last generation Vanquish S. And I know that sounds weird.
I've never known you to be an Aston Martin guy.
But like, out of all of them, like, don't get me wrong, I will pick a Ferrari all day long, dude. I will pick a Ferrari all day long. But if I had to have like one sports car my entire life, talking from now all the way until I die, I would probably pick an Aston Martin. Because, especially a Vanquish, because I still get that V12. You know, I'm like obsessed with those front engine, rear wheel drive V12 monsters. I want an 812 GTS so bad.
You guys don't understand how much that is in my ear and in this ear as well. In both ears. It goes in and it doesn't come out since it's constant.
He gives it to me with the SVJ, so it's alright.
It's true.
But, no, honestly, I think a Vanquish would probably be one of the best cars because it's comfortable. It's fast. It's a timeless design. It's terribly held value because it's an Aston Martin. So, I mean, you can get it pretty cheap.
Get it for cheap.
Now, the repairs, that's not cheap. But
the car is cheap.
The car's cheap. I mean, hey, I get a V12. I mean,
it's a win.
You know, who can say they got a V12? I mean, I'm just saying. So, I don't know. That would probably be my pick, is be the 812 GTS just because I'm a fanboy till the day I die. Or in a more reasonable sense, I'd probably say like an Aston Martin Vanquish.
Okay. I'm trying to think what % of the world actually has a V12, so I'm going to look that up and I'm going to put the number right here. I'm actually curious. Because we'll both be added to that list one day in the near future. Mark our words. But yeah, I mean, Aston Martins are beautiful. I love those cars. I've never been in one. I've never driven one. Never even sat in one.
You didn't even sat in one?
Never sat in an
There's
Aston
no
Martin.
way. There's no way. Really?
I've seen so many of them.
What?
I've seen a 177. That's an Aston Martin, right?
Yes, that's an Aston Martin.
This is getting cut.
No, I just got it. Just got it.
Okay, 177. I've seen, the DBS 770. That's my favorite one. I've seen the F1 edition. What is it? Vanquish? Vantage? Vantage F1 edition. That thing's cool. Seen a lot of those. Yeah, never been in one.
DB12, DB11. You've seen.
I've seen all of them pretty much.
Most of the newer ones, that's for sure.
Haven't seen the crazy hypercars
How have
yet.
you never been in one?
I've been in a lot of cars.
I've been in one.
Road?
No, I haven't ridden in one
Okay.
yet. I want to. I want to really bad because especially with the way they are now, I definitely. If they could be with the especially with the Vantage being a AMG sourced kind of engine, and that would be kind of cool and interesting. But I know I sat in a Vantage and it was super super comfortable. Probably one of the most comfortable sports cars I've ever been in.
Kind of like a Bentley.
A little bit, yeah. Honestly, I mean, Bentley's obviously a little different. It's a little more on the luxury, where your Aston Martin's more on the sports side. But I mean, it's definitely up there.
Okay. I guess if any one of you guys are owners of an Aston Martin, hit me up. I'd love to drive it and take it for a ride. So that's awesome. Awesome. Well, let's not shift away from cars yet. I want to ask what your first car was, and then what you want your first supercar to be.
Oh, crap. Man, so I bought and resold cars in high school. I was weird. And
Weird car guy.
Yeah, no, literally. I don't know what I was doing. So I was like, my dream in high school was to try and buy a C5 Corvette. And I was like, well, shoot, I mowed lawns and stuff, and I made a good amount of money doing that. But I'm like, well, how can I make more money? We're in the pursuit of buying a Corvette at, 16 here, and I was, 13, 14 at the time. I'm like, we're trying to do something here. And so I saved up a bunch of money, and this was around COVID, and I found a public auction, and I started watching it like a hawk, and I started studying, how to buy and resell cars. And I was like, okay, we're gonna take a shot at this, right? We're gonna go to the auction. We're gonna go get a car. And I was like, well, crap. And so I watched the auction for a little bit. I bid on a few cars, but I didn't get any. And then there was one car that stood out to me a lot, and it was a 2005 Chevy Cavalier. But I know that we'll put a photo of it up so you can see what my Cavalier looked like. So my Cavalier, I paid about $1,600 for it.
Okay.
It was pretty good. At 14 years old, I didn't even have a permit, and I bought this car. I didn't even have a permit, and I bought the car. I paid for it in cash and everything. Didn't even have a permit. My dad drove it back from the auction. I think I drove that car one time.
It's a G move right there.
The only time I ever drove it was in a church parking lot. So it was a 2005 Chevy Cavalier Z24 LS Sport. So it was funny is when you're buying and reselling, you got to look up the value of the car and stuff. What was funny about that car is that car was so special and so rare that they didn't even have the options that the car had on it from the factory on Kelley Blue Book. So they only made about, I think, a little less than 2,000 Z24 optioned Cavaliers.
Really?
And I had one of them.
What?
My car was a 5-speed manual.
Okay.
It had a aftermarket clutch. It had a short throw shifter. I bought it this way, by the way. I didn't do any of this. And it had a MagnaFlow Performance exhaust. And the car was loud. But it wasn't like an obnoxious loud, but it was a fun loud.
Mm-hmm.
and had a sunroof. It had an aftermarket stereo, touchscreen stereo in it. Like $1,600 for this thing was mint, and I think it had 128,000 miles on it. So I was like, this is a good car to start with, and man, I loved the crap out of that thing. I loved that car so much. I drove, like I said earlier, I drove that car one time. I genuinely drove it one time. But any chance I could get my dad to drive it or get someone else to drive it, I had him drive it. Because I'm like, I just love being in this thing.
Yeah.
It was fast. It was like fast for, you know, your first car,
your first,
if you will.
yeah, for sure.
But it was just so fun. And ended up fixing all the little issues that was wrong with it. And I ended up almost doubling my profit. And just on my first car. And man, I would love to go back and buy that car at some point in time.
That'd be awesome.
It's gonna be a while because I don't know if I'll find it ever again. But that car was fun. That car was a lot of fun. And you said first supercar.
First supercar. What do you want your first supercar to be?
Do you consider a C7 Z06 a supercar?
What do you guys think?
Because I'm kind of on the in between on that. Is either so. If we're gonna talk like supercar, I'm definitely gonna do like a 17 or newer NSX. That's just, I've always been fascinated with that car because I think the performance for the money it's hard to beat. I mean, it's just almost as fast as a V10 plus R8, as fast as a Huracan.
Yeah.
And I can go service it at a Honda dealership.
Yep.
And it costs a quarter of the amount that what a Audi R8 V10 Plus costs, what a Lamborghini Huracan, what a Ferrari, Ferrari California at that price?
Yeah.
Because that's like, what, 120, McLaren 720, or 570. 570, not 720. 720 is way more
like
expensive.
Gallardo, you said that?
Yeah, Gallardo. I mean, yeah, it's definitely, and it's a lot more comfortable. That's the thing with me is I don't like uncomfortable supercars. Like, I understand, you know, sports cars, they're supposed to be, like, rougher and a little... And I understand that. Like, yeah. I get that. But I don't want to be in a carbon bucket seat where I'm anytime I go over a bump, my tailbone just gets absolutely destroyed by this carbon bucket seat that weighs, what, 5-6 pounds? Oh, no.
With this much padding?
Like, they put a piece of Alcantara over it and said that's a seat. Like, no. I don't want to sit in that all the time. Like, I don't care if I'm doing 400 miles an hour down the freeway, man. No, I don't want to be sitting in that. And that's why I like Ferraris a lot, obviously, is just because of those. So but I think the NSX, I mean, I've been in one before, and they're super comfortable. They are really stylish. That's one thing that I like, is you don't see them. They're not like this crazy, again, like a Lamborghini and stuff like that, where they're crazy flashy, but it's something different, and it definitely adds that different perspective to the car scene and everything like that. So I would definitely have to say NSX for sure.
Okay. NSX is so sick. It's a good first supercar.
It is, honestly.
Get yourself into the game, have something fun, have something, like you said, reliable, take it to the Honda dealer down the road, and have it be cheap. It's a cheap bill.
And it's all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive.
So I won't wreck it.
Perfect for this.
We'll find out.
Coming to a video near you in a couple of years. But yeah, that's solid. I go back and forth on what I want. I still have yet to buy my first car. I'm looking right now.
We're getting you there. We're getting you there.
I'm looking right now. If you stay tuned on my car channel, you'll see a series coming up soon. Probably coming around the same time this video comes out. But I'm gonna be car shopping, so stay tuned. Got some cool options. Brendan's actually looking for a new car as well, so we're gonna be doing like a little car shopping together. So we'll see. We'll see what we end up getting.
Late spring, early summer. Watch for it. We'll have them.
Yep. No hints. You guys just have to watch. So go check out the videos. All right. So we hit a lot of car stuff.
For sure.
A lot of cool car stuff. And more to come in different videos. But I want to ask, what are some of your big goals or aspirations in life?
That's such a loaded question.
One. What is one of your big goals?
One of my big goals,
Let's just share
definitely. Like, I mean, we could keep it on cars, and I could genuinely say, you know, I'm buying my dream car, buying an 812 GTS. I like I said earlier, is I've been obsessed with cars my whole life, and you know, I've been around. You know, we've been so blessed to have such a cool opportunities that we've had to be able to go and be around these things. And you know, going from a kid that, you know, has grown up in the age of social media, and oh, you know, look at this person who has this, and look at this person who has this, and you know, always thinking like those stars can't be reached, you know. And now we're over here reaching them. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and I think it's so cool. And you know, why not try for that? I think giving it a good shot would be probably one of the best things I do, because even if I never buy that car, I have the knowledge to be able to try and to know that I tried.
Yep.
You know, and being able to find the experiences and the fun in all of it along the way. You know,
yep.
We've been really, I mean, I just blessed, to be honest with you, with the opportunities that we've been given to be able to, at such a young age too. Like, I don't know, like, anyone that's, you know, driven some of the cars that we've driven at how young we are. And
no,
I think it's awesome. And that's why I do YouTube too. It's not because I'm, you know, trying to sit here and flex on everyone about how much better I am than them, and you know, look at me doing all of this. I'm always excited to talk about cars. That's been my biggest thing my whole life, and I want to just be able to share that with other people, and you know, sit and nerd out on the camera and watch people just get excited watching me, you know, sit and goof off the whole time about why sitting in the cold waiting for a Porsche to go rip around or something, you know. And yeah, I think it would just be amazing to be able to achieve that. And that's why I do YouTube, is because I want people to see kind of like what the Stradman did, you know, is we watched him go from being, I mean, I remember, like, I watched him when he was in Beverly Hills, when he talked about him sleeping in his car. I mean, I was there watching, and I had gone to some events when he had first bought his Lamborghini, and I remember seeing his orange Lamborghini with his Strad sticker on the back, you know, where it's at.
Yep.
And I remember seeing it drive around, and I'm like, is that the Stradman? And at that point, he had less than 100,000 subscribers. And I remember just being at being at that event that he was at as well, and it was super cool to be able to see that, you know, these people are real, and these people are out there, and that you really put it to it, you can achieve it.
Yeah.
You know, so I would definitely, I'd have to say getting the 812.
Awesome. Well, you learn and you hear stories left and right of, I mean, you have a will, you have the drive, you have the desire and the discipline to do it. It's gonna happen. Like, it's bound to happen. If you work hard, nothing can stop you.
Whoa!
Nothing can stop you.
Okay. Except your mother.
It's true.
It's very true.
So that, I guess that kind of goes into the next question of what are, let's say, top 5. I was going to say top 10, but I'm kind of running out of time here. Top 5 items on your bucket list. Before you die.
Oh my gosh.
If you were to die next week, what would you want to accomplish this week?
Do you want to ask me that again? We'll cut. Okay, you got to add, like, which one you want. You literally put 2 different questions.
What did I say? I don't know.
You're like, bucket list, or like, what do you want to do if you die next week? That's like 2 completely different things, dude.
All right, moving on. Kind of the next question. And since we're running out of time right now, I want to ask you one last question. 2 more questions, sorry. 1 more right now, though. What are the top 5 items on your bucket list that you want to accomplish?
You know, big house. Big house. No, I'm just kidding. That's everyone's dream. Big house. I need one. Now, I mean, everyone needs one, but also not everyone needs one. Honestly, I'm a big adventure person.
Yeah.
I'd love one of my absolute bucket list things. I want to go on a rally. Like Gold Rush or Gumball 3000. Always wanted to go on one. I think that would be so stinking cool. Go out, rip around with some cars. Just have an absolute blast.
Yeah.
You know, just go out and have a ton of fun. Meet a lot of cool people. I think, yeah, that would definitely be one of them. I think next one would definitely have to be 1,000,000 subscribers.
1 million.
1,000,000 subscribers on YouTube.
That's awesome.
I think doing that would be super cool because it's not only an accomplishment of grit and hard work, especially today's world of, you know, the amount of content that's out there and influencers and stuff, being able to really stick in it and keep pushing and be unique. That's the thing is a lot of these people, you don't watch them for the content, you watch them for them, right? You know, and a lot of people that watch my channel, a lot of people watch your channel, they don't watch it because of all the cars. I mean, they like the cars. That's what they got interested in, but they got invested in us because we started putting ourselves out there. And that's something I love. You know, I love all of that so much. And I think 1,000,000 subs would be pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I'd be all right with that. That'd make me really happy. Shoot. What's a good... I don't know, man. I've checked so much stuff off that list before I even turned 20. Like,
you want to jump out of a plane? You want to hike Mount Everest, anything crazy like that, or no? I know I don't. I have no desire for either of those.
I want to go travel Europe.
Yeah.
I've been to Switzerland. Pretty cool. Pretty chill.
Swiss baddies.
But I think... Golly, bro.
You're out there.
If you're out there. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'd love to go travel. I'd love to go fly and be able to go see the world and see different cultures, try different foods.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just immerse myself in all of it because it's such an amazing world that we live in and so many cool and amazing cultures. I think would be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun to go.
So much to see.
A lot. How many do I have? 2 left?
Yeah, that's big house. You just said it.
Big house, travel,
rally.
So I do have 2 left. Okay. Retire my parents.
Ooh. That's been a goal and a dream. Sorry, this is yours.
No.
That's been a goal and a dream of mine too, though.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, I love my parents so much. Like, I have such a hard time talking about it because I love them. I mean, they've supported me through everything from every little car thing that I've been in to, you know, helping me learn how to use money to be able to invest it to grow it so I can, you know, go after these things. Them teaching me all of that and being super supportive in there is just, that's been probably one of the biggest goals, is be able to say that you don't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
And go buy my dad his dream McLaren, and that'd be fun. Maybe that's the last one. That'd probably be the last one, is buy my dad his dream car.
Oh, yeah.
His McLaren. My mom wants a Supra, so that's not that hard to do. But, you know, telling your dad, hey, that 2022 765 LT sitting out in the driveway, hey, that's yours.
Here's the keys.
What? Come on. That'd be so cool.
It's got to be like the best day of your life.
Yeah, that would probably be the last one. Is giving my dad his dream car.
Awesome. Yeah, that's always been a goal of mine. I mean, like Brendan said, my parents have done the same thing for me, supported me all the way through, like, funded all my ideas of stupid things I wanted to do, little trips to see cars, do all these cool things, and they've always just supported me the whole way. And so just to pay it back to them, all the hours that they spent helping me to achieve my dreams and to have such a cool, I guess, teenage years.
Yeah.
I owe it all to them. So I think some good people.
Amen to that.
For sure.
Amen to that.
But I want to ask one more question. And we've
boy.
both kind of been getting into this a little bit. But fitness.
Oh boy.
Fitness is it's one of my favorite things right now. I've been hitting the gym.
Same.
You've been hitting the gym. What are some of your fitness goals? Give us 2 of them.
Dude.
For this year. 2 goals this year for fitness.
I'm going to be enhanced. Wait. No, I'm just kidding. That's wild. That's wild. No. No, I definitely, like, this year, my goal my entire life has been to bench 225. I'm a thinner dude. I'm built thin. I'm built Italian. That's my roots. As I'm Italian, I'm not this big crazy guy. I'm 6 foot. I weigh like about 160 right now. And 225 bench.
That's not bad.
Sick.
That would be
kind of sick.
That would be awesome.
Now the second goal for that is to bench 225 weighing 170 pounds. Cut 170 pounds. Now if I can cut it once, I'd love that. I'd love that.
10 pounds of muscle?
Oh my goodness gracious. That's a lot of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of chicken.
Chicken and broccoli.
Woo!
It's a meal for the next 11 months. It's possible.
And rice.
Chicken,
I
broccoli,
need to
and
put
rice.
on weight. So the rice is going to be in there.
A little bit of carbs in there.
Good carbs though. Good carbs.
Oh yeah. Can't just eat straight white bread.
Why not? Cheeseburgers.
Not gonna cut it. No.
Dude, the McDonald's cheeseburgers.
No.
That's where it's at. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, no free plugs. Eating McDonald's the very next day after we filmed that podcast. What do you have to say for yourself?
I have no regrets.
No shout outs.
McDonald's app. I love you.
I love you too. But I mean, we're on this journey, this fitness journey to get shredded. We have goals. So no more McDonald's, no more white bread.
Dang it!
Beef, rice, and chicken. It's my favorite food. Anyways,
We'll try it.
Brandon, thank you for coming on for this this first
Thanks for having
episode.
me.
I appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions you'd like to ask Brandon or anybody in the future, comment them below. And I'd love to get them answered. But we'll definitely have Brandon on it again. We'll have to talk about more of our car stories. We'll have to talk more about goals and business. There's so much we can talk about after 4 years of being friends. So
we got to do a story one. We got a lot.
We got to do a story
of
time.
fun
It'll be
stories.
like a 4-hour episode. But
we got a lot of fun stories.
buckle your seatbelts and jump on the train for the ride. So
Amen.
it was a pleasure. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it.
Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Awesome. We'll see you guys in the next episode.